Morning, folks. Brian with RPG A Day 2021. I may notice that my background's a little different this morning. My cats pulled my blanket down last night. Stupid animals. Anyway, day number, 25? Sorry. 6. Day number 26. I think my son was actually due last night. Dang it. Anyway, the prompt word for today is theory. And I got some sub prompts in there about play and something else and something else. Sorry, not thinking too well this morning. Anyway, theory. Now that's kind of hard or deep because there's obviously a theory to play. There's a theory on why people play. There's a theory about all kinds of things when it comes to gaming, I suppose. And it made me think about a theory that some of my friends and I had come across in game mechanics back in the day, where it was still sort of skill-based, but there's like a sphere of influence or circles of understanding that as your skill goes up, it also increases in breadth. Which actually is not quite. It's more like an 8-sided die. Starts out very small, gets very broad, but then starts to narrow again. If you really think about it. But that's not what I wanted to talk about. That just came to my mind. Oh, shoot. This is a hard one. Theory. How about a theory of play? Of why people play? I'm sort of a simulationist myself. Oh, and apparently there's, these amateur research things that have gone on years and years ago about different styles of play and what they mean and that kind of stuff. And being a simulationist is one of those. And that's how I am. That's how I got into the game to begin with. I think I mentioned about this year. My brother introduced me to Advanced Dungeons and Dragons back in the late 70s. And my best friend Brett and we didn't really know what we were doing, right? He was saying, here's your stats, roll 3d6 for each one. So we knew that higher was better. I don't even think we knew what all those different stats meant. I mean, obviously strength meant strength, but back then I don't know if we knew what constitution was or charisma for that matter. And we knew that higher was better, and we rolled up our guys, and we were just fighters, and okay, we're in this town. Outside the town is a dungeon, and that's where adventurers go. So we went to this dungeon. There's a whole story about that first encounter, first set of encounters, that first night of playing. But it hooked me in that you sit at a table with your friends with a piece of paper, a pencil, and some dice, and you could recreate medieval type combat at the table in your mind. And that just blew me away. And that was the hook that got me into gaming. And as I went through different game systems and different mechanics and stuff, I always drew back to, does that make sense? You've got these knights in mail with broadswords or longswords or whatever the basic weapon is, right? And they're fighting. They're using mail to stop these swords. That's what's keeping them alive. So I'm an absorption kind of guy. The armor should absorb about what the sword deals out, right? And that's, every time I touch a game system, that's the kind of stuff I think about. Is that really how it would work? Does that make sense? Does that simulate what we understand from medieval style combat. Interesting idea. A little longer one this morning, but happy gaming.